You cannot depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Mark Twain.
Creative acts are imitatable and dangerous.
Listen to me, guys. Forget everything they told you. Creativity isn't bad. It's the best thing about you.
Phineas and Ferb has always impressed me with its unique take on imagination. How these two boys find something new and exciting to do on a daily basis because of their vast creativity and childlike imagination. They truly are a powerhouse of mechanical ingenuity and have therefore influenced millions of children's minds with many inventions like roller coasters, water slides, time machines, and much more. It's a show that has always inspired the best in the people watching it and always strive to show you the beauty of imagination, the true greatness of keeping your imagination regardless of age, which is why no episode is as dark and cruel as the episode Phineas and Ferb Get Busted.
Is that my car?
She sees the car too.
This is the most dangerous thing I've ever seen! How dare you do all this without permission?
The episode Phineas and Ferb Get Busted starts off fairly similar to most other episodes. Phineas and Ferb are building their next huge creation as always, which this time turns out to be a flying car with a sky-high parking system. And of course, as usual, their bigger sister Candace is trying to bust them and finally prove to her mom that the boys are truly evil. And where usually Phineas and Ferb's invention would magically disappear by the time their mom gets home, this time things are different. Their mom gets home and actually sees their invention. From one instance to the other, her entire world shatters and she just realized that her boys were putting themselves in danger on a daily basis without her even knowing anything about it. And of course, as most mothers do, she then completely overreacts, scolds them and proceeds to send them to a reform camp named Smile Away Reformatory School. A place that is more akin to a prison camp than anything else. A place where Phineas and Ferb will lose sight of who they truly are because inside this Smile Away camp, they are completely deprived of anything creative whatsoever. They are forced into labor and torture to the point where the only thing left is an outer shell of normality. Their insides have been sucked out completely. No imagination left. No Phineas and Ferb left.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today.
No!
Hey,
Yes! I've finally broken it.
This episode is different from any other episode because it doesn't try to show you the importance of imagination by presenting Phineas and Ferb's next big invention, but rather it highlights what happens to even the most imaginative people when they are ripped apart from their imagination and how that exact imagination is incredibly fragile. In the episode, it doesn't take the general long to flush away all the childlike imagination that the boys have inside of them, and though it might seem like only a trope to speed up the episode, it really highlights horrifyingly well how easy we humans can let go of our imagination, and the best real-life example I can compare it with would be the school system itself. I don't know about you, but every time I watch this episode, it reminds me of my school years, of how every time you try to solve a problem in a creative way, it was deemed completely wrong by the teacher because it didn't follow the norm. How every day we were forced to sit still in the same spot for hours on end without moving or talking. And God forbid you ever dare to actually think critically of what the teacher was saying. School and Smile Away Reformatory Camp. Potatoes, potatoes. It's all the same to me. At the end of a years-long process of indoctrination and normalization, you walk out of the school system a completely different person. And what is left behind is a shell of normalcy like in Phineas and Ferb's case. Two human boys who have no thoughts left for them to think. Two once incredibly ingenious inventors who are now incapable of putting together anything whatsoever. Two hollow shells of their former selves.
hey Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today.
Yes, they're back!
This episode is incredibly important because it highlights how much we have to gain from imagination and more importantly, how much we risk to lose if we give it up. The answer is now clear to me. We have everything to lose if we throw it away because our imagination is what makes us who we are. Without it, we become single-minded drones that simply follow the flow of wherever society is going. Not taking risks, not thinking critically, not speaking up, and therefore not living at all. It is a thought that will garner many weird looks and even more critical words. If you use your imagination to make choices in your life, you might realize that you are out of the norm and swimming against the flow. You might realize that many people will be criticizing your choices and try to pull you back down into the sea of normalcy. But if you truly believe in something greater and you truly trust in your imagination, do not let anyone prove you otherwise. Stick true to who you are and accept that your imagination is the best thing about you. Because without it, you wouldn't be able to build up anything at all. You couldn't build a roller coaster nor a YouTube channel. You would simply be a shell of your former self that has been filled with the normal beliefs and thoughts of others. You are now living their lives and not yours. So go out there and reclaim what is rightfully yours and open up the door to imagination. Strive to become more creative like Phineas and Ferb. No matter the hardship or situation, never lose sight of your imagination. Thanks a lot, guys! Feel free to check out one of my previous videos right here. This channel is all about looking at video games and pop culture from a different perspective, about digging deeper into the meaning of life and how we can get there with video games, movies and TV shows. So if that interests you, maybe subscribe? Maybe hit the bell to be notified? What about that, Yeah? Okay, good. See ya!
I love being a male human.
And I love being a male fairy. But I can't help but think that something's missing.